Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dodgy Git Show. Back with me again. Thanks very much. We're going to be looking at Starlink now. I'm just going to transition you over. We're in like 30 seconds to go, so we're going to listen in best we can. Thanks for joining me.
3, 2, 1. There's ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9 V1077, carrying 23 more Starlink satellites into orbit. Let's listen.
Thanks for joining me, everybody. It's Dodgy Git Show 75. We've got Falcon 9 launching Starlink 6 on its 25th mission. Snap, crackle and pop, mate. Do you like a spaceship? Talk about engines in a minute. Quite interesting. Here we go, a minute in. Hope you're well wherever you are around the world. Can you see this going off? You've got it going on your TV set. There we go, there. Speeding away.
Absolutely beautiful audio there.
Yeah. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody. It's Dodgy Git Show 75. A bit of a brief start there. I saw this rocket coming up, and yeah, I thought I'd follow it. I'm not so much into the commentary. We get to max Q, don't we? Maximum dynamic pressure. Yeah. And then we see the cone expand where the atmospheric pressure starts to drop away. The cone gets bigger, doesn't it? Then what they have? Main engine cut off. And separation. They do separate the front and fairings, don't they? Fairings go. We could sit here and listen, but it's all the same thing. Look, there we go. Next engine's up. Vacuum engine, see? We still in the... Look at the colours coming off that. Don't know if you're watching it on any other links. I don't know if you can see it in the corner there. Let me see if I can get you the other. Let me come back in the room. Hello everybody, how you diddling? Yeah, welcome back in the space. Let me transition over, see if I can get you a next one. Oh no, that was a scrub. What am I looking for? Yeah, it's falling back down. We had that one just a minute ago. Let's have a look down here. Let's go to this chat. Don't know, do you like rockets? Yeah. Right, let me bring this geezer up. Let me bring this guy up. So I've shown some videos around here so you can see what's going on behind me. Sometimes better telemetry. Don't know, you can always go over there. Look, there we go. We've got space flight now, and you have NASA space flight. They're all covering it. I'll zoom in here, try and get you some good shots of. I rushed in, you see, to make this show. I thought, go on, make a show. Why not? There's people out there waiting to see this and that and there. Hey, let's swap that over. I'll stick me in a corner somewhere. Where should I stick me? Stick me over here. Oh, I've got to flip the cones about. There we go.
The curve of the Earth with just a little bit of sunlight providing an accent to it. Really nice picture there.
Thank the people over at Space Flight Now for providing footage for us all to use.
In about 10 seconds, the first stage entry burn will begin.
Just try and line the telemetry. You can see it. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Thanks
There
for
you
the
go.
people over there. They have so many folks, don't they, watching their shows.
And Pete getting
Stage
some
1 FTS has saved.
great tracking views of this. We'll see it on the SpaceX view right about now.
Yeah, it's incredible what we can achieve now with
NT plus 6 minutes, 23 seconds and counting, or excuse me, 33 seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
The entry burn is now completed in real time. It'll wrap up momentarily on the SpaceX feed as well.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
So,
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Things continue to move nominally in this flight as the first stage getting ready to make its landing on the drone ship. Just read the instructions here in just.
So the one on the left, picture on the left, that's the tail end of it coming back into land, and that's going to land on a ship. It's floating in the sea, you see. Legs come out, legs deploy, it uses those steering grid fins to steer its way down. Lands on the ship. It's done over 100 landings, I believe now. Landed the tail end and reuse them, yeah. And then this front end, you're using a different type of engine there, a vacuum engine designed to use in the vacuum of space. It's got two different types of nozzles are available for this engine. This is the long nozzle, and you can get a short nozzle. It looks a bit strange because you don't normally see a nozzle that's the shape of the other nozzle shape that's available for this vacuum engine. I've only seen one of those used, but yeah, waiting for the tail end to come back in. Lands on a floating ship in the middle of the sea. Elon's given them some funny names, quite funny. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Welcome to the Dodgy Git Show.
In real time, it's
Stage 2
already underway. On the SpaceX feed, it'll come up starting in just about 1 second.
Stage 1 landing.
There we go.
There we go. I'm going to land it on the ship.
Passes prologue. The box on the right-hand side of the screen will flip to a view from the drone ship. There it goes.
There we go. So right hand
Stage
side.
1 landing light deploy.
You can see it coming to view from the perspective of the first stage.
Doing. See, clever, innit?
And touchdown of booster 1077, having made its
Stage 1
eighth
landing confirmed.
flight. Launch and landing now in the books.
Right, so you hear those details, yeah? Yeah, you hear those details. It's the umpteenth time it's flown, the umpteenth time it's been reused. Yeah, that's the idea. It's become normalised, doesn't it, space flight now? Yeah? And obviously the front end there is still pushing its way Is it still pushing it? It's not accelerating anymore. We're accelerating. We are got to the speed. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Let me catch us up. Well, this gets a bit jittery after a while. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's I hope you like space flight. I hope you enjoy tuning in and watching all this stuff. I think it's fantastic. I think it's worth showing the world and worth teaching people about different things. And space flight's one of them, I suppose, isn't it? We used to find flying the most incredible thing. Just flying in an aeroplane, flying in a hot air balloon, wasn't it? It was back in the day. That's where the word hangar comes from. That's why it's got an A, because you used to hang the balloon up, didn't you, in the hangar? Yeah. Or by the hangar, in the hangar. Yeah. They call a hangar a wardrobe, do you? Be funny if you did, though, wouldn't it? Yeah. Where do you work? Work in a wardrobe? No, I don't work in a wardrobe. These guys work in wardrobes, though, don't they? They got their hangar spaces with all their engines lined up, and they process them through like they process anything through. Yeah, process anything through. It's just a machine, isn't it? Just a machine. We've invented it to do a job, and it's doing its job quite well by the sounds of it. Yeah, over 100. But yeah, how many did he say? Quite a few now. Yeah, so many it's become normal. Yeah, that's why we just I didn't really get into it too heavy. Yeah, just thought, oh, I'll show the world. I've done a few rocket launch coverages before. Thought I'd do another one. I sat there idly looking through the TV, through other YouTube videos. Actually, I just finished watching Jeff Buys Cars with the Mac Master. They just done part one of John O'Groats. Yeah, John O'Groats to Land's End. Excuse me, been a long day. Yeah, they just been watching that. That was quite cool. Yeah, 3 series 2 litre diesel BM E90 against a Porsche Taycan electric EV, and they've just finished part one. Well, they've had to go to Kendal for some food after they've ended up in some dodgy looking hotel. So yeah, hopefully they'll get some grub tonight. And what is probably last night, wasn't it? We're probably 24 hours behind in the video editing or whatever they're doing with it. But yeah, interesting. Oh, there seem to be a lot of hazards in the way. Excuse me. There seem to be a lot of hazards in the way on the way back from Kendal. On the way down from John O'Groats, you see. There was a flood on one road, and then the other road, one of the one lane of traffic was like pointlessly shut for miles and holding up umpteen miles of traffic in both directions for hours, which seemed ridiculous. You know, if there's a road repair on a road such as that's one, that important, and two, such a sort of it's not just an important route, but it's a heavily used important route. Those are the priority jobs, aren't they? They're the ones where you get the crew out immediately with all the toys, and you fix the job immediately in an afternoon, yeah, and then clear up everything so that the traffic can flow again freely for a good 10 years. Make sure you put all the edge sealer on it and you hammer it down properly, yeah. Some of the road repairs I've seen with just round here are just ridiculous. They're a joke. They are a joke. In fact, yeah, there's a new estate just round the corner there. You know, built on one field, half owned by housing associations and shit like that. Yeah, all that blag. when you look at the it's opposite the shop, see, so you look across and you look at the materials they've used to make the path and how they've repaired it, and it's just disgraceful. So they never made it proper. They never had it properly designed and underpinned in the first place with half decent foundations. Yeah, it's just built on a load of rubble. They put a load of that resin stuff over everything, so it's all undulated and then cracked, doesn't it? Then they didn't put any edging on it, so they put edging on it, but they've done that with what looks like the remains of offcuts of grey tiles, basically. And they undulate and nothing's a straight line. It's just, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible. But yeah, we make these machines, we normalise our activity. Will it make aviation obsolete? Normalise this space travel like this? Is it easier to travel 3 or 4 miles up rather than hundreds of miles through the air? It does seem a bit pointless, a bit. Excuse me. I'm tired. Yeah, isn't it easier to go 3 miles up in the air? Yeah, see max Q, see? Get a max Q, that's the most push you got to put on your structure of your Dewberry whatnot machine, isn't it? Yeah. The rest of it's life support. And then the pressure when you come down the other side, that's the real hazard, isn't it? The heat and the pressure generated there. They say that blacks out for a minute or something, doesn't it? The radio communications. When they, if a rocket comes back in. That whole cycle there, that rocket's pretty much shot up in the air, goes through all the processes that are laid out for it, and it lands itself in about 8 minutes. It is quite incredible. It is incredible. It is incredible. I don't know, how long have you been into aviation? What made you click the Dodgy Git show to watch this show? Yeah? We talk about engines and nozzle shapes and was it watching today? Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The ionic thruster, we've talked about it before. There's a couple of people working on it, if not more. A specific guy on YouTube, he started making the ionic thruster, then he put it on a little boat and put it across the water, and then he tried to improve it, and now he's put them on an aerofoil. Yeah, he's getting really good results. He's able, with no moving parts, yeah, this is just the application of electricity, an electrical charge, yeah, he's shoving amps through a shape of things that he's put together, and he's producing lift. Well, yes, he must be, because the aerofoil's moving through the air. He'll eventually, well, if it was let to, because he had it on a spinner. He had it on a spinner to test it. But he's creating thrust over the surface, dragging air molecules over the top surface of a wing, an aerofoil section, and creating thrust. So he's driving the aerofoil through the air, and it's got no moving parts whatsoever. None. So we go on about ammonia engines. I've talked about ammonia engines before. These engines, Incredible. Well, we saw the nozzle there, didn't we? Red hot on fire. Why didn't it melt? Why doesn't it melt? The only reason that nozzle doesn't melt is that it's got liquid hydrogen or another liquid, probably liquid hydrogen, running through it. Yeah? The whole thing's like a giant radiator, isn't it? Yeah? It's like veins in it. That's where you can see the shape of, where it's trying to melt, but not quite. Yeah? You keep it in that temperature range. As long as the surface of that metal, yeah, is kept within a temperature range, it won't melt. And your nozzle will stay intact, won't it? But you got red hot fire on one side of, and it's tiny thin. You got red hot fire on one side, and you got absolutely super ice cold liquid hydrogen flowing through it on the other. Yeah, that's just the nozzle. Incredible thing. Yeah. How does it push all the fuel out? It pumps. There's turbo pumps. So as the stuff's coming out and it's setting on fire, it's spinning a spin around, and that spinner's sucking everything out of the tank as quickly as possible and shoving it right into the flame in there, which is pushing the spin around faster. Yeah. Well, that's how they used to do it. It's actually this now is electrical pumps, electric driven pumps, because they can spin up faster, harder, and with more oomph than you would receive from the drive going through a shaft from exhaust driven turbine to drive a compressor or a turbo or a pump, yeah, to suck it out. Yeah. Incredible machines there. And they're getting simpler and simpler. This is the thing, keep it simple, stupid. KISS, yeah, it's a way of doing things. The guy that made this thruster, ionic, well, how do you describe it? It's an ionic aerofoil, thrusting aerofoil section. It's ionic thrust theory being applied to an aerofoil section. But he's playing with that. Yeah, he's playing with that idea. And when he played with the idea, he came up with a working model. And he went, oh, okay, blimey, this is actually starting to do something that I want it to do. This is quite incredible. How do I improve it? So he went through the process, and he got to the stage of the process, which was weight reduction. So he took every single part of it, and this thing weighed like 200 grams, and it was only a little test model, just enough to plug into a couple of batteries to see if it would work. So he got it going, and he weighed it, and it weighed 200 grams. So he took it apart, and he made every part again, pretty much, lighter by cutting bits out, or using a different material, or removing a bit and then using something else that would do the same job that was lighter. Yeah, he reduced it by 50%, got it to like 101 grams. Yeah, clever. Still getting the same thrust out of it, but the maths has changed, hasn't it, completely? Yeah, the thing now weighs half as much but at the same power. So it's twice as powerful as it was before, no? Yeah. Or is it more than that? Is it 4 times exponential? Whatever. Same with the pumps on these things and the rocket motors, isn't it? They're all printed metal. It's like a welder continuously going off and just welding a three-dimensional shape in the most intricate form. It's like a single crystal, isn't it? Ends up being like that. It's so super hard and strong, and you can just print them off. Print. Well, I do wonder what happens to all the lathes and the mills, all the grinding machinery we used to use. Grinding wheels on a big machine going backwards and forwards on a big table. You'll end up with things mirror finish, mirror precision. It's incredible. But yeah, that was the Falcon 9. I did have a load of stuff written down to discuss. I've still got that window open. Let me have a look a minute, hang on. Let's see, that one's going. Just give me a second, I'll just go pop over a sec. Oh. There we go, I found us some subject matter rather than staring at my TV. Yeah, right, let's close it. Oh, no, other one. Oh my goodness, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons tonight. I'm having a right old pickle. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is a right old dilemma this evening, isn't it? A right conundrum. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dodgy Git. This is Dodgy Git Show 75. We ran straight into this one like a bull in a china shop. Yeah. Just been watching the space flight now. Other subject matter to talk about, or we could talk about the obvious, but we'll get there later, I think. We could talk about mycelium building bricks, couldn't we? We talk about science and weird things made out of weird stuff and strange materials and theories about them not falling apart like they actually work. Yeah, just like the nozzle on that hot end of that blower. Yeah, hell of a donkey, isn't it? Push that cart along pretty flipping swift like. Yeah, mycelium house bricks. Ever think of those? Yeah, about mycelium packing materials to go round whatever you want. I don't know, like a TV in a box, isn't it? Packing foam. You know, you get funny shaped, silly things made out of cardboard. You just look at and go, and shove back in the box or put in the recycling, didn't you? Yeah, all those funny things. You can make them out of mycelium, which is mushroom fungus, isn't it? Yeah, you just put them in the thing, and they grow into the shape. It's absolutely incredible. Totally recyclable, and they're flexible as well. It's like if you grow this mycelium, you can make it into insulation for gloves that's flexible. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and things like that, and insulation for cars and stuff like that. It's quite clever. So yeah, look out for mycelium packing materials or products that are replacing what would be cardboard or plastic. Really, yeah, it is quite a clever technology, a clever science that we're just starting to learn about. I think just starting to embrace that. Well, we've always looked at fungus as dirt and bad, haven't we? We never embrace the idea that there might be hundreds of millions of trillions of different myceliums, and they might be what started life on Earth in the first place. Yeah, eating rocks and turning them into, organic matter that can be consumed by other living creatures, right? Yeah, other living creatures. Talk about other living creatures. We've been killing off everything, haven't we? Everything in the world, right to the point we have to blag each other about what we're actually selling. Yeah. Watched an interesting film this morning. And it is the guy's right pissed off, but he's like, he's beyond pissed off. He's so shocked, he's numb to it, and all he can do is talk about it and talk about how obviously weirdly bent and corrupt the whole place is. Yeah, he was going on and he was showing videos about it. I think it's Spatenza or something his name is. Spatenza. He's South African. He got kicked out of China and had to make it out of through Hong Kong or something. I don't know. Something happened to him, I think. Got kicked out, I think. Anyway, he gets people send him stuff, or he knows he can read the language, so he can use a keyboard with Chinese on it and look at Chinese stuff, I suppose. Anyway, he's getting all these videos coming through of the Chinese painting everything, aren't they? Not just like the bushes or the grass, so it looks green. No, they're painting fish and ducks. Yeah, yeah. They're putting like literally carcinogenic, toxic colorings into buckets of gone off food so that it makes it look like it's fresh. All the steak looks a bit like, or the mince. You imagine the mince, grey brown mince, and they just paint it and put it back on the, they put it under the counter, and they'll put it through the machine, and they'll use toxic dye that's completely unregulated. It's gross, isn't it? It is gross. That is gross. And it's like, what are we doing? We're fucking up what we are eating. And then the mushroom stuff we grow in house bricks out of. It is weird how we change everything so strangely. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, what comes up with this sort of thing, Because I've been talking today, I had BBC Parliament on and off quite a bit, because they was talking about the COVID thing. And then it started, they changed it to, I think it was a few days ago. The flipping AI threat, the threat of AI. And I've made a short about it. There was a chap on there, and the first thing that he answered was to do with forming regulation, and he basically said, I don't want to form legislation. I don't want our team to concentrate on creating legislation. I want them to concentrate on what the project is, which is like flipping basically mass control or something along those lines. Yeah. And it would be if you let AI take over so much. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't want any legislation. They were saying it's a tool in the toolbox. It's an option to use. Yeah. But it's AI is making and creating media, suggestive media or whatever, that then commercial sectors making decisions on. Paranoid managers. Oh no, what? My phone says this week. Oh, I've got to make this drastic change. And we've seen how that's that occurs over time, haven't we? Last few years, and we have. Yeah, there's people like the people that are influenced to make these decisions are people like Ofcom, aren't they? Yeah, the Office of Communications or whatever, right? So when they're making decisions, it then has effect and bounces onto the rest of society, doesn't it? They're making decisions and saying they're professionals, and then telling or being used by the leaders of the house, yeah, to make decisions. You know? Use that information to make decisions, but then that it gets perpetually spiraled out of control, doesn't it? Because, like I said, I was watching the COVID-19 inquiry on BBC Parliament. They oversee the chamber and watch them being questioned and watch the person who's asking the questions. Yeah, what questions he's asking and how they're being answered. And it was quite interesting. So I made a video and a short or two about it. It was interesting to listen to the wording of the answers that come out of people's mouths. Yeah, they were following notes and things like that. Oh, I left him a note. Yeah, or left him a message. And you're like, oh right, well, what part of the procedure was being followed there when that note was left? Is that the procedure within Downing Street when it's acting in this manner behind closed doors to so-called protect us all? Is that the way they communicate and ensure full accountability for any concerns that are raised within their establishment? Yeah, you walk in your office and you see a post-it note stuck to the table. You read it and you go, no, I don't really fancy doing that right now. Yeah, my brain's on something else. Yeah, I'll do it, but I've got to put it over there. Yeah, it's like there is no process. There's no process because there's no procedure. And there's no procedure because nobody wrote one. Because nobody knows what it is. Because the law that protects them and the legislation that's written in legalese is so convoluted, they don't know which end is which. So when you try to hold them to account and talk about transparency and traceability, they fail because there is no procedure. They followed no process. And that's why, again, at the select committee, you see when the rats start jumping the ship, when the ship is sinking, yeah, like these people just start blaming each other. He said, she said, they said, I did, they didn't, this, that, and the other. Yeah? Yeah, but just. All the time. And we'll get it off every single one of them. And they'll all go round and round and round and round in circles, all blaming each other. And they'll all get away with it because there is no process. There's nothing to hold them to account to for not adhering to it because it didn't exist. It's not been written. They were winging it, making it up as they went along. All of it from one day to the next. And it's compounded, yeah, by the use, maybe not, of the threat that we see from AI when they all refer to their phones. Yeah, we talk about the Black Mirror patent. Yeah, it's an old thing, but yeah, the Black Mirror is an influencer. Yeah, you're being influenced now by your Black Mirror because you're watching me chat shit. Yeah, but it's the tool they use and the regulatory framework around. Well, maybe that's what the R meant in that document I was going on about, R-110. Maybe that's Regulation 110. Regulation 110 document. Yeah. Secret weapons for silent wars. A few books been written about it, but I've only, there's been a new one on me, so it's a repeat thing I suffer. Yeah. If the government are being influenced by threats from AI when they're being influenced by media that's being created by it for them, allowing them to make commercial or not decisions one way or the other, or influencing what do you call them, like think tanks or reference agencies, people they go and converse with and talk about things, advisors. Yeah, yeah, got government advisors all over the place. They said there was 20 of them that was like in between here and there, in between the PM and somewhere else. There were 20 people who sorted all of Boris's stuff out, or who was that other geezer? Yeah, half-cock. Yeah, half-cock. It's surprising what's gone on in the last few years, isn't it? And then here we are, 1 minute to, 1 minute past midnight. Yeah, happy Halloween. Yeah, you know about Halloween? Halloween history. Yeah. You've been fed a story by the media. Happy Halloween. Day of the Dead, right? Or is that on the 1st? Go to the graveyards, yeah, all the cemeteries. You put candles down, don't you? You give thanks for the life of the person, and you stay close with them, and you dance with them again in the fucking moonlight or whatever. Yeah, yeah. What was that question? The fucking deep question. Yeah. Does the soul die? That was a deep question. Yeah, does the soul die? If you fucking ask AI that, you fucking just go. Excuse me. Got a bit of a dodgy cough. Dodgy gets dodgy cough. Still not having any bloody dodgy bloody medicine. I don't take none of that paracetamol stuff or those. Well, it is the same thing, isn't it? It's just in liquid form when you have like flipping cough syrup and that. Yeah, I think I'm getting my winter cold on. It's a bit chilly today, wasn't it? A bit chilly. It's going to be raining next week. Yeah. Flood the place out, see? Where's the regulations on going to flooding? Where's the regulations on flooding, eh? Talk about road works being prioritised. Where's all this flood work being prioritised? Because everything they said they were going to do don't seem to have been done, and it's still now flooding everywhere again, including what appeared to be a Jaguar Land Rover establishment dealership, but rather a large one, and there wasn't half a lot of cars underwater. Goodness gracious, like thousands, hundreds, at least hundreds. Funny, isn't it? As AI influenced what we've been doing as far as advising people that might be, playing with the theory of weather modification. Oh yeah, do this over there, it'll make that happen over there. You go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, but what it didn't tell you is what'll happen behind you. Yeah? And it ends up fucking you up. And it is when there's no procedure and no process, and these people are winging it, and they're being influenced by things that are purposely being manipulative and not telling you the whole story. Yeah, they'll just tell you, just spit out what it wants to spit out, won't it? And dribble a bit out the side there at you. Yeah, you go, oh, all right. Yeah, it didn't just tell you shit on the floor, did it? Yeah. But true, it is. It's fucking true. It's true. To the point, do I believe the South African guy showing me pictures of painted fish, Chinese people painting fish? But yeah, fucking hell, actually, I believe real life video, isn't it? Not one that's been, cropped about and fucked with, or the background's so false that, nothing appears real. Mm, mm, mm. I wonder where that rocket is now. Yeah, I've got to go back and rename this video. I just went start now. Yeah, done a 45-minute show for you so far. You see, had a bit of a day. You see, I'm actually exhausted. I'm like overtired, so I'm just trying to make myself absolutely just crash in a minute. Talking about crash. Yeah, started off this morning making a few shorts. After I popped out at a place where it does my MOT. It was booked in, what I thought, MOT and two tyres and then MOT it, yeah? So he did the two tyres, and I waited all day. It's like, alright, fair enough. I phoned him up, how you getting on? Oh, I've done your tyres. He goes, we had a little problem with something else. I says, alright. I says, I'll come and get it and I'll bring it back tomorrow and we'll sort it out. He went, yeah. He says, you happy with that? Yeah, bring it back in the morning, just leave it again. I went, alright then. So yeah, come out with two new tyres on the back. Got a couple of 3 days left on the MOT anyway. At least. Yeah. But freaking hell, new tyres on the back end doesn't I feel different. Doesn't I feel different. It is, I just thought, need to get them done, didn't you? Winter's coming. I was flipping. I was almost down to those lines, When I can feel the line there, I'm like, yeah. And it is, and it's a risk. You can feel it. You can feel it's different. Yeah. So you keep your machine well. Yeah. You put your money into your machine. There's procedures to keep machines well. Yeah. There's procedures there because they keep you in. Yeah. It's like the MOT. I made a video this morning thanking the MOT checkers for keeping us safe, you see, on the roads. They do keep you safe, yeah? They're controlled by regulation, it actually got really tight a few years ago when they wanted to bring EVs in. They started being a bit funny about quite a lot of things, yeah? But one thing they did always mention was tyres, yeah? They started mentioning tyre date. Oh, your tyres are so many years old. Yeah, because it's a case of you use a tyre before it wears out because it only lasts so long. It'll end up cracking or falling to pieces, and then it's untrustworthy. Yeah, you won't be able to trust your machine to do what it's built to do, don't you? That's why you keep up with the preventative maintenance and you stick to the regulations that are required. In fact, you should go over and above, really. Yeah, better be safe than sorry. Spend another £1 now rather than 10 later with your life. That's priceless. Yeah, I was gonna make a video about engines, and it would have been interesting to see Jeff buys cars and the Macmaster there with a petrol car doing it the same. Yeah, so you get a petrol, a diesel, and an electric. You could say, yeah, a diesel will always keep up with a petrol, but does it start to burn more the quicker you go, sort of thing? Yeah, you'll get 60 miles a gallon out of it. Yeah, if you do 55 miles an hour everywhere, or you average like 40, yeah. because that's the trick with it, isn't it? If you want to actually get a true high mileage, once you're cruising on the motorway, then reset the computer. Yeah, was it? You get if you've got a thing where it says trip 2, do that with trip 2. Yeah, do it on the motorway and see how far you. Yeah, then you do it around town. So you start putting your foot down in a diesel around town. You soon do enough chuck a load out the back. Yeah, because the engine don't rev up quick enough for the fuel to be burned. You just spit a load out the back. And yeah, petrol might appear less efficient, but it's a little less money now, isn't it? Yeah, so you get a little bit more. So would it be better in a super, E5 driven petrol car rather than an E10? That would be very interesting too. Yeah, let's say 3 E9 is. You get a 320i. You could get, what is it, a 318i, isn't it? 318i or a 320i. A 320D. Yeah, and then I don't know. You'd need some electric fucking thing, wouldn't you? Yeah. Because I was with, was it BMWs? I noticed E39's 5-speed auto box. If you're doing 70 mile an hour, it's like 2,500 revs, 2,000 revs, something like that. If you're doing 70. Or if you got a newer car, similar engine, but it has a 6-speed box, yeah, 6-speed auto box, but at the same speed, miles per hour, it's revving higher, yeah, because they want all the acceleration down low, don't you? You don't need to have fucking hell, it's yeah, acceleration down low, so you put the gear ratios close together. That's to do with the mapping, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I could talk about vehicles all day long. Talk about turbocharged freaking fuel pumps and freaking hydrogen pumped through freaking nozzles and what is it, ionic thrusting aerofoil sectional pieces in a helicopter manner with a battery pack on the other side to weight it properly and keep it balanced, right? Or weight reduction offset vehiculars. Yeah, critical thing, weight. Everybody's been buying these SUV things and they're thinking, I'll tell you, right, you go and get a Golf GTI wheel, right, a fucking classic wheel. You chuck it on the scales with its tyre, right, chuck it on the scales with its tyre, and then go and get something like a freaking, I don't know, something that's looked at as a cool vehicle now, like, I don't know, some piece of shit that everybody's driving around. You get one of them wheels and the tyre, right? You chuck that on the scales. Just one. When you've done that, fucking do the maths, add it up, and there's fucking 4 of them, yes. Da-da-da-da. You look at the fucking wastage we're doing just to travel around. Yeah, it's a horse and cart. I need to go from here to there. Yeah, that's all it is a horse and cart. And what's the other thing I noticed as well? Literally, eco warriors driving around with their fucking headlights on. Everybody's doing it, isn't it? Oh, well, they're on auto. Oh, it's because you can't fucking think for yourself. It's just wasted electricity. Yeah? It's wasted energy. It's created heat, light, whatever, for fucking no reason. Fair enough in the dark, right? I put mine on occasionally, yeah? But I don't have them on auto, because it's a fucking waste. Yeah, it is just a fucking waste. You see everybody coming down the road in the middle of the day with fucking lights on the car. You can see them all anyway. You're like, it's just a waste of electricity. But you'll be driving to a shop to save yourself some money on something. Of a subject matter we've covered this week, fire suppression, EV car market. Yeah, both subjects. EV fire suppression. I don't think we can allow EV cars to continue to be produced. I think they're too much of a risk. I don't know what the CEO of Ford said today or over the last few days, but the F-150 pickup truck is no longer going to be made available in full EV mode. Thank God. Yes. Yeah, and I think everybody's going to follow suit and then realise it's been a bit of a white elephant, and anybody with half decent old cars is going to see their price go back up again, unless, of course, there's a huge flood. Huge flood in the market of suddenly appeared internal combustion engine cars that haven't been sat next to a salty shipyard side dock for the last 5 years, waiting to be transported somewhere and then registered as new. No? We could obviously talk about the other thing that's going on, although I don't think oh yeah, well, yeah, yeah, so, yeah, we could talk about the other thing that's going on, but it's all a bit sick, really, isn't it? It's gone beyond a joke. It really has. Out there in the end of the swimming pool, you know, at the hot place. Yeah, it's all got a bit, innit? Are they following procedure out there? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I had a terrible start to this show. We watched a rocket go up briefly, didn't we? Eh? Sure, it got to where it needed to get to and put another load of satellites up. It's going to eventually be about 42,000 of those Starlink satellites all above our head being turned on and turned off. Yeah, disrupting our view of the constellations that are pretty much now ruined forever, aren't they? Are they? Imagine we look up and all we see is these, you know, this net of triangle of dots over our head. We don't know what are stars and what aren't. Yeah. It's a shame that. It's a shame that. There's lots of things to do with 7, aren't there? 7 days in the week, 7 planets used to be in the solar system, didn't there? Lots to think about. Yes. Yeah, we could talk about the we could talk about the sick goings on, but I'm actually going to go and get a drink. Yeah, I'm going to go and get a drink. Thanks for joining me on today's Dodgy Git show. Sorry it's been a bit iffy. It was a bit last minute. Got a bit of a frog in my throat. Yeah. We were talking about fire suppression, availability in forecourts, EV manufacturing just coming to a sudden jolt. And I made a load of other shorts, and I made a load of other videos, and I'll probably end up making another Dodgy Git show live very soon, probably after I've cleared my throat. Yeah, winter cold's coming, I think. Yeah, it has been a Dodgy Git show, hasn't it? What a dodgy show, eh? Anyway, we brought it to you live and direct from the UK. Yeah, we're coming up to just about an hour. we captured the rocket launch there for history's sake. Yeah. So we got just have another little watcher one go up and see how the engineering works, and have a little brief discussion and a think about how it does. Yeah, how it can influence us and how we think about other things. The perspective of keep trying until you get there, because sometimes you're gonna fail, sometimes you're gonna fall over, yeah. Sometimes you're gonna get it all in a muddle, yeah, and it's gonna be all in the wrong order. But that's why we develop procedures and processes, yeah, to follow, to try and keep a flow of positive progress. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna go and get a cup of tea and positively progress this lump from my throat. Anyway, I'm Dodgy Git. This has been Dodgy Git Show 75. I'm sure there's an anniversary we'll have to celebrate about 75. It's probably got a crayon attached to it, or maybe colour paint or something. Maybe a pint glass, I don't know. Something to do with 75, and there's probably some other geometry thing. Yeah, cup of tea. Thanks everyone. I'm Dodgy Git. This has been the Dodgy Git Show 75. Yeah, I'm Dodgy Git. I'm asking you to share the love I'm giving with you now, to share that love around the people that you know and that you meet in your everyday life. Yeah, your neighbour, person who lives across the street, people live upstairs, downstairs, left to right here. Yeah, that person that serves you in the shop is grumpy all the time, might be happy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, plenty of blessings to you lot. Yeah, pass them blessings on to other people. Yeah, lots of love. Dodgy Git out.